This is an example of a field that's struggling, and it's not necessarily because of the water, but simply the way it's knowledge that's resulting in this. And that's what UCS is trying to do with this model farm right in front of the mission house, which is irrigated and has best practices, and leaders from all over the area come to learn, have access to the tractor, which does in 2 days what it takes someone to do by hand in 6 months. Here's some children and women working some of our fields. Look at the chicken. The chickens are well. There's a goat. There's some goats rearing happening. And this is an example of a local maize mill. And so we only really saw one of those. And one of the things we're looking for is other ways to drive economic activity. And this is one example of things that we can consider. This is how bricks are made by hand. It doesn't cost any money to do this, but what does cost money is a cement required to build the houses. For this purpose, we acquired this machine to make these interlocking bricks that you see here that do not require cement. And this is the machine that makes that. One thing we wanted to do while we're there is explore other different means of economic development. So we spent several hours at the Uganda Industrial Research Institute, and which provides know-how and training and access to equipment like this weaving equipment here. They actually make the equipment there and show you how to make it and how to make the products. Things like brisket making from banana plants, which are largely discarded, and fruit processing, which is very relevant to the village. We also spent some time at a banana plantation who is exploring grafting these plants to grow not just one but dozens from one plant, which could be a source of income as well. One of the needs we do have, though, is we have fencing around our property. This is an example of one fence we already have up, and irrigation. So again, this is the field that was not properly irrigated, and in contrast we have this field. Look at the variety and how green this field is that is actually irrigated in front of the mission house. So there's we believe a huge need for irrigation. Another form of economic activity that's very exciting was the tailoring classes that you see here. This makes a big difference to these families. Let's give you an example here. These women can make $1.25 per dress that they make. That doesn't include the material. And they can make 2 a day. Now, just to give you an example, the average family here lives on $5 a day, which means they're eating every day, etc. So this is one of these dresses. And so if they make $2.50 a day, they make up to half of that family's income. Now, listen to one of the ladies that graduated. This woman had just so much pride in her skill. I mean, look at her. And the camaraderie among the women was fantastic. So this is a very small thing that can make a huge difference to each of their families and communities. What we wanted to propose with these women is a microfinance program where we buy the actual sewing machine, which costs about $120 US, and the women then have to contribute 50% of their earnings back to UCSS until the sewing machine is paid off. And we talked about this at some length. There was some concern about repayment, but the women felt that that would be fantastic and would allow them to get their business going.